Good morning and welcome to our weekly Facebook Live video. It is my honor and privilege today to introduce Janette Larkin, our President for Business Publications, to join us as an expert in local marketing and talking a little bit about the art and science of your marketing strategy. So Janette, welcome. Thanks for joining me.
Thank you so much. It's a topic that I love to talk about because unfortunately I think as things have progressed with programmatic advertising and social media and digital, there's a lot of misinformation out there. There is a lot of excitement around something new and different. And sometimes I fear that we've gone too far. The pendulum has swung too far. And after being in this business for 40 years, I love the new digital opportunities. There is so much to be gained from it.
Very true.
But I also see the pendulum having swung to the point that simply because something can be measured, everybody feels that it has to be measured.
Right.
And so I almost feel like there's been an abdication of some decision making by wanting everything to rely on the analytics, right?
Yeah, tell us more about that.
Everybody these days asks and expects to have an answer, what is the ROI? What's the return on investment? And research has shown that 84% of the marketers understand that you can't always quantify that. What's really scary about that is that 16% of the people think that you can quantify every single ad buy, and to me that is the danger, especially in local marketing. And that's the art and the science, right? If it's only programmatic, if the only decision is based on the analytics, that's not really leadership. That's not really decision making. It's pretty easy to make a decision when the numbers. That's where robots can do it.
Right.
But when you see a lot of the major brands coming back from it and being concerned about how much of the traffic is from bots, all of a sudden their ads are showing up on sites that don't really represent their brand in the kind of environment that they want.
You've heard a lot about that.
You're seeing a lot of major advertisers shifting back and saying, I want to control my advertising placement. I want to be placed on premium sites. That's the mix of art and science, knowing your audience and what's there. And on the local level, it's so much easier to do. Des Moines, as you know, is one of those communities where people make decisions on who they do business with based on who's behind that business, who they know, who knows them. We have people come in that we work with from other markets that move to Des Moines, and they're struck by, even though that's true, Gittimer always says, right, all things equal, people want to do business with friends. In Des Moines, it's even more true. So the expectation that your brand and you as the personification of that brand are in the right places, in the right environments, that your ads are positioned and targeting the right people, there's so much more tangible decision making that can go into it. That when you combine the art and the science, use the analytics, look at the ROI. But there's also what I read an article called RONI.
RONI. Sounds like pasta.
What's the risk of not investing? So it's really easy to make a decision to do it when the numbers and the analytics are there. Real leadership in marketing is when you know the market, you know your clientele, you know the opportunity, and you combine that ROI analysis with what's the risk of not being there, what's the risk of not being involved in the community in that way. When you can combine those two things, you have the best of both worlds. That's when everything pops.
Well, and that's, I think, a big difference with branding, right? A lot of that can't be measured, but your brand has a value. And making sure that you're taking care of that, being a good steward of that, is key.
I read one time an example of that. They said if you make decisions and every single decision has to be quantifiably substantiated with an ROI analysis, how do you answer the question, how much do you love your spouse or your soon-to-be spouse in your case? How much do you love your partner?
Or your pet?
What is the value on productivity for taking a vacation? There are just a lot of things where it's really difficult to establish a true quantifiable substantiation, but you know that it's a necessary ingredient for success.
Very good tips. Well, thank you, Janette. We appreciate you coming by today
Thank you.
And sharing some of this thought leadership, this knowledge with us. We take a lot of pride in business publications, the history we have in our community here, and our leadership from you. So
Thank you so much.
Have a great day, guys.